Psylocke, the true assassin, the best to do it, and the best looking while doing it, if you know what I mean. Alright, let's get into the video. Alright, so Psylocke's a 5-star hero. A lot of people think she's broken and they don't understand the fact that the game just came out and nobody understands how to play against her. But people are going to realize in a week or two that she's really not that broken, and there are a lot of things that are required to make her work properly. First thing first, we're going to start with the abilities. Let's start with her M1, your psionic crossbow. It's pretty much just your basic attack and a pretty tight spread, and it also reduces cooldowns of all her abilities on hit. Alright, on to the second one, for shurikens. This is a two-part ability, and the first part sends out a tight spread of shurikens that go a decent range, and stays there. If this initial press tags a player, it will stick to them and do damage. Also, it sends out 5 projectiles, and each one will give you 10 bonus health. A simple tech that is important to dealing more damage with this ability is knowing that when you press the ability the second time, it'll return to where your crosshair is first and then to you. Meaning if I put my crosshair on an enemy, it will damage them and the initial player. This could be really good in a team fight or if you're diving a 2-man backline. Next up is your dash. It's just a Genji dash. It's pretty simple, just does 50 damage. It should really be used to finish off a target or really getting out of dodge or getting some decent positioning. Next up, your psychic stealth, which is just your invis. It grants you a movement speed buff of 50% and mainly should be used for escaping and engaging without wasting your dash. Next up is your ultimate ability, the one that gets misjudged the most, Dance of the Butterfly. Your amazing ultimate, it's super misleading. Most newcomers would assume you jump on the entire team and just 1v6 real quick and get a hexa. That's actually super wrong. This ability should really only be used, in my opinion, in specific situations. Some are like a backline dive, a solo tank kill, objective gating, which is like zoning, and finishing off maybe a 1v6 if they're low enough, alright? And I'm going to talk more about this ability later because there's a lot to go over. Alright, let's start with some of her strengths, shall we? She has great burst potential, and becoming good at using her kit will make you almost unstoppable in that backline. You can really keep their DPS and supports out the game completely if you're good enough, alright? Next, she has great engage and escape, and she has a pretty intimidating ultimate. You don't want to stand in the Psylocke ultimate. You're probably going to die 10 times out of 10 unless you have a way to get out. And she's super self-sufficient. You don't really need a team to play with, but it would be nice if your teammates had brains as well. And you don't need a pocket support or anything, but if your support is paying attention and you're at a good enough spot, it'll be nice to get a heal. Now, along with her weaknesses, she has great burst potential. That word potential. If you misplay slightly in a dive, 9 times out of 10, it goes from an insta burst to you getting triple team, stunned, and ran down by that definitely very skilled Iron Fist player that's 100% not just holding left click. You need to have great game sense, map awareness, and mechanics. You need to have great cooldown management as well. If you jump in and you like, oh shit, I don't have a dash, I don't have my invis, and you're just fighting with left clicks, your game's probably over. And another thing, she is easily counterable by a lot of supports, and it's actually kind of insane. Supports honestly run this game in my opinion. Now, game sense. There's a lot of things to go over, but in such little time, I don't think I can, so I'll give you a quick rundown of most of it and you can figure it out yourself. Alright, first thing, map knowledge. Knowing spots you can be in and knowing where health packs are, because there's no base health regen, you need to get one from a teammate or a health pack. Knowing common spots for the backline to be at or somebody to be hiding at, maybe a common Black Widow spot that's up on the roof. Knowing flank angles to actually get to the backline or to get to that Black Widow, and knowing where and how to get the fuck out of dodge. Because if you jump in that back line and then all of a sudden Adam Warlock goes invincible or a Loki drops down a clone and disappears, you're going to want to disappear too, alright? Now, besides map knowledge, the next important thing is hero knowledge. You want to know who you can one-shot with ease, who you can't one-shot with ease, and character cooldowns and their vulnerability timings, and also your supports or heroes on your team that can help you dominate as well, like maybe ultimate combos or whatever, you know what I mean? A simple explanation for this is really just knowing the hero and what their abilities do, and like also being able to bait out abilities. Like you can bait out a Luna Snow freeze by dashing in and maybe going invisible and then bursting her down after that, because Luna Snow without that freeze, pretty much a free kill unless she has her ultimate. So now there's a few tips I can give you with some of your abilities. Your ultimate does 150 damage a hit and you get 8 hits, so it's 1200 damage. Diving an entire team with supports will always result in you dead and getting no kills. A solo ultimate on a tank with no abilities will 9 times out of 10 leave them dead. But if they do have abilities, they'll use their whole kit and they'll probably be 300 health and you can just burst down and kill them. Alright? Now, deleting a solo tank on objective after all their DPS dies, that's an amazing way to use it. And also, even using your ultimate on the point with nobody on it just to cap it is a great idea too, because if they jump on it, they'll just C9 and die depending on who it is. Don't always have to use this ability for kills, it's amazing for zoning. Now your dash, like I said before, it does 50 damage, so it's pretty decent, but the best part about it that a lot of people don't know is that when you use this ability, your shurikens automatically recall. Now instead of them going to your crosshair like before, they will go to where you started your dash and then they'll go to where you finished your dash. This is a great combo finisher that I use a lot, and that's how I like delete backlines with ease. Next thing up, your invis. You get a 50% speed boost. It's only 3 seconds, but to make it fair, if you get hit by anything in stealth, you'll be revealed for a little bit. And this ability is really good for engaging on unsuspecting backline players, and it's something very important. If you're invisible and you do anything other than moving, it will completely cancel and you'll just be like a duck in an open shooting range. Now your shurikens, they give 10 bonus health per shuriken hit and you throw 5. 10 in total if you count the recall. And if you remember, when you recall them, they go to your crosshair first, then back to you. This is good to use earlier in a combo to give yourself a bit more sustain. And do know, this is not a heal, all right? This is not a heal. You will max out at 300 HP. You can't go any higher than that. All right, so I don't think there's really much else I can talk about. If there's anything I could leave you guys off with this video is, as long as you put forward the practice, it's actually pretty easy to get good at games like this. If there's anything I would recommend you do, I would think you just honestly just go straight into ranked. It's not too late to get into ranked. You can go in there and learn stuff and still win games. I would just go in there and focus on learning the maps. As long as you learn the maps, it becomes making every other decision 10 times easier because you're not worrying about 20 different things at once. Even if you're getting like dogged on and you're going like 7 and 20 somehow, as long as you're learning something, it's all going to pay out in the end. So if the progress is slow, don't trip out over it. Just keep going and you'll most definitely climb faster than you probably would if you just played the game aimlessly, all right? All right, I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been the boy, the kid. See you on the next video. Peace out.